Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this Care Bear is literally the same size as a regular stuffed animal. Like a regular size teddy bear you'd see, a big teddy bear you'd see on the shelf in a store. So I can't really fit him in, but he's got a shamrock on his belly because he is Good Luck Care Bear. That's his name. And this is a real character. If you don't know what the Care Bears are, you're gonna have to look it up. He's one of the characters of the Care Bears, and for St. Patty's Day I'm gonna do the Good Luck Care Bear. Let's get started. So I'm using a 5mm because that's what my yarn calls for. I'm using this color. This is a Bernat. It's worsted, and the color is called Lush. It does not come in a cake. I make it a cake. So we're going to start. We're going to work from the head down because we want the head to look nice. We don't really care what the butt looks like. So we're going to start with a magic ring. And you're going to put you're going to put 8 single crochets into this magic ring. Your next round is going to be 2 single crochets in each stitch. So after the first stitch, you're going to put your stitch marker in. Then you're going to put the second stitch in the same space. So 2 single crochets in each stitch around for a total of 16 stitches. Your next round is going to be 1 single crochet and an increase. So that's 1 single crochet, and then your next stitch gets the increase, which is 2 single crochets in the same space. And repeat. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, all the way around. So you should have 24 stitches. Your next round is going to be 1 single crochet in each of those 24 stitches. And we're going to carry on like that throughout. So I'll be putting up my pause screens. So your next round is going to be 2 single crochets and an increase, and this will take you to 32 stitches, and then you can put 1 single crochet in each of those 32 stitches. So that's number 1, that's number 2, and then your increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. So these next 2 rounds are going to be a little bit different. I know I said throughout we do the same thing, but the next round is going to be 3 single crochets and an increase, and the following round is going to be 4 single crochets. So we're not doing the 1 single crochet in between. So this one is 3 single crochets and an increase, bringing you up to 40 stitches. The marker's number 1, 3 single crochets, and then my increase all the way around. So then your next round is going to be 4 single crochets and an increase. And then 1 single crochet in each stitch. So I'll put my screen up and I'll see you on the other side. So I'm done my 1 single crochet in each stitch. I have 48 stitches. So I did my 3 single crochet increase, my 4 single crochet increase, and my 1 single crochet in each stitch. This is what you should have. So our next round is going to be 5 single crochets and an increase. It's going to take you up to 56 stitches. And then for the next 10 rows, I want you to put 1 single crochet in each of those 56 stitches. So let's begin, and then I'll put my pause screen up. That's number 1. That's 5 single crochets and then your increase, which I'm sure you understand by now. And repeat. So this is what you should have after your 10 rows is done. So now we're going to start to decrease. And we're going to start with a 5 single crochet decrease because we ended with a 5 single crochet increase. So that's number 1. That's 5 single crochets. And then you're going to use these 2 stitches. You're going to go in and pull up a loop. Go into the second stitch, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. That's your decrease. So repeat. 5 single crochets. And a decrease. And repeat. So this will bring you back down to 48 stitches. So your next round is going to be 4 single crochets and a decrease, taking you down to 40 stitches. And that's number 1. It's 4 single crochets and then a decrease. So repeat this all the way around, and then your next round can be 1 single crochet in each of those 40 stitches, and I will see you on the other side. So your next round is going to be 3 single crochet and a decrease, bringing you down to 32 stitches. That's number 1. 3 single crochets and a decrease. And repeat. 3 single crochets and a decrease. Your next round is going to be 2 single crochets and a decrease, and that takes you down to 24 stitches. And then the next round after that is 1 single crochet in each of those 24 stitches. And then we're going to stop and do the eyes. So that's number 1. That's 2 single crochets and a decrease all the way around. Alright, so this is what you should have, and we need to start doing the face so that we can start stuffing this guy. So put your thing at the back. It's always safer just to put the thing at the back. So we'll start getting our face done. We need to make the white part of the eyes to put, let me set that aside. So I use safety eyes, but we have to crochet the white part first. So we'll get that done. You'll need a 4mm G hook for that, and any 4-weight yarn is fine. Mine's gonna be white because it's white on the bear. So we're gonna make a magic ring. And we're going to put 4 single crochets inside this ring. There's 4 single crochets, and now we're going to put 2 half doubles inside the ring. And now we're going to do 4 single crochets. Stuck on something. And that is it. That's the eye thing. So go into this next stitch. And we're going to fasten off as soon as I stop getting snagged on something. So slip stitch and fasten off. So you're going to need a little bit to sew with. For the most part, your safety eye is going to hold this sucker on. So we'll make the second one. So I am using a 12mm eye, safety eye, that's got clear around it. So you stick that into the center hole of what you just made, and that's your eyeball. Keep both your straggler and your sewing end. So get your head, put that in there, but I'm going to pull this closed a little bit. There. Okie dokie. So let's see, I made a note. So between the 9th and 10th row, so we're not counting this middle circle. 9 and 10 is this row here. And I said 5 or 6 apart. So this row here, I'm going to stick that in there. I don't really want it to go anywhere. It's really bulky. I'm just going to stick a pin in there for now because that safety eye does not want to stay. It wants to pop out. And then I got to stay in the same row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 stitches apart. Get my other guy. So you want to just kind of sit back, and it's hard because it's not stuffed, so it is kind of difficult. I can't even get my needle in. There we go. Alright. Now keep in mind, right now it seems like it's really close, but put stuffing in this, and so stretch it out so you can kind of tell. But that's where I put mine. So just to make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, between 9th and 10th row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I might want to move one of mine over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think, yeah, if I look at my other one, I have 4 stitches showing. If I look at this one, I only have 3 stitches showing, so I might just move one of these guys over a stitch. That should be even, Stephen. So now I've got 4 stitches showing in between. So first of all, put your back on for your safety eye, which probably isn't going to be easy because, oh, mine was pretty easy, because of how bulky it is, but mine actually went on pretty good. Mine went on so good it went all the way down. So I'm not going to do that as tight. I got one eye that's tight, one eye that's not. Maybe I'll push that down more. So as far as so now your eyes are on, but just for safe measure, I'm going to put my pins back in my little thing. Get my needle. Just for safety measure, not even safety measure, but in case anything happens where the back pops off, which I've never come across, I probably never will come across, I'm going to go into here with both of these, and I'm going to tie a knot. And that's just added security. If you've followed my channel long enough, you know. Now go in 2 different holes. Don't go into the same hole, because tying a knot would be pointless. But if you've followed my channel long enough, you know how anal I am about the safety eyes and stuff. Safety, you know, anything coming apart. I do extra things to kind of cut down on the possibility that anything could come apart. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of those threads off. It doesn't really matter because all this is getting stuffed anyways. Alright, let's stuff this guy. So I like to put my stuffing in and push it all out to the side and then fill the middle. That's how I like to do it. Alright, so it looks funny now. Try not to overstuff because you don't want to see the stuffing through, but if you push on it and it bounces back, then you're good. You have enough. If you push on it and it stays indented, then you need more stuffing. So it looks a little funny right now, but once the muzzle and everything is on, it all comes together. Everything looks funny before it all comes together. So let's continue. Let's get that out of there. So it is going to be a little more awkward too. We're going back to 5mm now. It's going to be a little awkward with all the stuffing in here. So we're going to start increasing again because we need to start building the body. So I always build my bodies onto my head. I don't sew my head on. Nothing is separate. So you're going to start with a 2 single crochet increase. So that's number 1 with your marker. Number 2, and then the next stitch gets the increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. So this will take you up to 32 stitches. So your next round is going to be 3 single crochets and an increase, and this will take you up to 30 stitches, and then, or sorry, 40 stitches, and then I want you to put 1 single crochet in each of those 40 stitches. That's number 1. That's 3 single crochets and then your increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. So your next round is going to be 4 single crochet and an increase. This is going to take you up to 68 stitches, and then you can do 6 rows of 1 single crochet in each of those 48 stitches. Did I say 48? Anyway, that's number 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets, with your increase being 2 single crochets in the same space, and repeat. So you can do this, and then after you can do your 6 rows, and I will see you on the other side. So that's my 6 rows. This is what it should look like at this point. So we have to keep increasing. So our next round is going to be 5 single crochets and an increase. We're going to increase for his belly. So that's number 1. And I just lost my stitch marker. That's number 1. I'm going to have to keep putting you guys up higher and higher. This is a big project. I'm already close to the camera. So that's 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then your increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. So this brings you up to 56 stitches. And then after this, I want you to put 1 single crochet in each of these 56 stitches. And I'll see you on the other side. So your next rounds are going to be 6 single crochets and an increase. This takes you to 64 stitches, and then you can put 1 single crochet in each of those 64 stitches. So this is what you should have. This is going to be our last increase row. So you're going to do 7 single crochets and an increase, bringing you to 72 stitches. And then you're going to do 8 rows of 1 single crochet in each of those 72 stitches. Alright, so I've got my 8 rows done. So this is what you should have at this point. This is a big bear, like I told you. So we're going to start decreasing now. And we're going to start with a 7 single crochet decrease. That's number 1. That's 7 single crochets and then your decrease. So this will take you down to 64 stitches. Right now we're at 72. So your next round is going to be 6 single crochets and a decrease. That'll bring you down to 56 stitches. And then I want you to put 1 single crochet in each of those 56 stitches. That's number 1. Six single crochets and then your decrease. So your next row is going to be 4 single crochet and a 5 single crochet and a decrease, not 4. I think we just did 6. That's 1. That's 5 single crochets and a decrease. So this will take you down to 48 stitches. So your next round is going to be 4 single crochet and a decrease, and that brings you down to 40 stitches. And then I want you to do 1 single crochet in each of those 40 stitches. So your next round is going to be 3 single crochets and an increase or decrease. Oh my good lord! You'd think I was tired or something. I talk, but make sure you're reading the screen up here somewhere, because I can't believe everything comes out of my mouth. 3 single crochets and a decrease. That's number 1. 3 single crochets and then a decrease. So this brings you down to 32 stitches. So your next couple of rounds, and then I think we should stuff it. Your next couple of rounds is going to be, this one's going to be 2 single crochets and a decrease, and that brings you to 24 stitches. And then I want you to put 1 single crochet in each of those 24 stitches, and then start stuffing it, because it's going to take you a while to get it stuffed properly. And we only have a couple more rows to go before we close the end up, so you want to stuff it really good in the neck area. Finish obviously the bottom of the head or whatever, wherever you are with that. So that's number 1. That's number 2 and a decrease. So I'll put my pause screen up and I will see you on the other side, and mine's probably going to be stuffed when I come back. He is not the easiest to stuff. But just remember, if you push on it and it doesn't bounce back, you need more stuffing. He's a big fella. So just remember, you need to give him a bit of a belly. So I'm just about happy with that. He's got his little paunch belly here. It takes a lot of stuffing. I just want to get him right. You only got one shot before I close it up. You might as well make sure everything is good. So I'm going to shrink this down a bit. Use the right hook. Now it's even more difficult to show you what I'm doing on camera, now that it's stuffed. Hold on, let me adjust a little bit. See a little bit. So our next couple of rounds, and then we're going to sew the rest shut. So this one's going to be 1 single crochet and a decrease. So that's my 1 single crochet. So now I jump right into the decrease. Please don't pull tight. 1 single crochet and a decrease. And this takes you down to 16 stitches. And then you're going to put 1 single crochet in each of those 16 stitches. And then we're going to sew the rest shut. So before we sew it shut, we'll shove some more finishing filling in there just to make sure his butt's good. So I've done my 16 stitches. Take that out, we don't need it anymore. So we're going to go into our next stitch. We're going to fasten off. So you just need enough to sew this hole shut and then enough to weave with. So not a whole lot. Pull that through. So let's finish filling the last bit of our hole before we sew it up. Now you don't want it overly round here. His legs are gonna, the way we do the legs on this bear, his legs are gonna hold himself up in the sitting position, but you still don't want that this overly round. So I think I'm good with that. So I am going to thread my needle. So I am going to go, it's hard to see what I'm doing, but I'm going to pick up 1 piece of yarn from this stitch and 1 piece of yarn from the next stitch, and I'm going to go in and then I'm going to go out. So I'm just cinching the bottom closed. So go in and out. Do that all the way around. Sorry if I'm not on camera, I can't see my camera. My camera's up really high and it's still really close to the lens. It's a big bear. I'm not sure if I know how to do anything small. So in and out all the way around. You'll know when you come back to where you fastened off. And I am just back around. So there's where I fastened off. So now all you're going to do, make sure all your stuffing's in there, is pull. And that's going to cinch right up like that. Sorry, I know it's probably hard to see. And then I'm going to come over here, and this little hole, this cinch hole, I just want to go underneath it. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then through the loop, I just want to make a knot so that cinch hole never comes back open. I'm going to pull back and forwards, and that tightens that knot right down. And then I'm going to weave, so I can go back this way. So the reason I left it so big was so that we'd get this type of a look right there. So it's a lot cleaner of a look if you leave a bigger hole. So go in when you weave, go in as close as you can to your lead, so it just looks like a stitch, and you're just going to pop out somewhere, wherever you pop out. So pull up, and that'll make that bottom close right up, or I mean it pulls this through, so your knot's not going to be visible. And then again, go in as close as you can to your lead, so like the next stitch over, and pop out somewhere, and so then that's just going to look like a stitch right there, and go in different directions. So that's how you weave in your end. And if you've pulled down or whatever, just pop it up. I don't want this out of shape. So I'm going to go one more time. I'm going to go back down here, and then I'm just going to cut it off, like my scissors, and snip it off. And there we go. We've got the head and the body done. So this is probably all the time we have for today. I will see you in part 2.